Anyways, it's so lovely to see you all. Please give it up for one another at our theater kickoff event. So, I want to take a moment really quick and take you all through our incredibly exciting season. Many of you may have heard this before, but I want to be able to answer any questions that you have and talk about some of our shows coming up, right? So first and foremost, all of you are here tonight for the 24-hour Theater Festival, isn't that correct? Amazing! Some of you are here for Theater Fest permission slips, isn't that correct? Excellent! We'll be handing all of that out in just a moment. But first, let's go through our season brochure for the year. Would you all please give it up for our incredible Miss Bandu, who's running our Theater Fest? So there is a QR code that's hanging on the wall outside. Have you all seen that for registration for upcoming auditions? Excellent. Our first two shows of the year, our Spanish play that we did last year was La Llorona. How many of you saw that? How many of you were in it? Shut your mouth. Well done, Liv. It was such a fun, and Jake was our assistant director. It was such an incredible show. We have a huge Hispanic population here, and we actually do very little for that population. Last year was the first time we ever did a Spanish language play. Isn't that unbelievable? Yes. This year, we're now going to make it a little bit bigger. For those of you that saw La Llorona last year, we did that in 4 rehearsals. Wasn't that correct? Yeah. This year, we're going to take 5 weeks. So, Coco is going to be adapted from Disney's play, right? Or Disney's show. Please note, we are not charging for this because I believe in copyright, and Disney has not written Coco yet, correct? So we're doing this as a classroom activity to allow our students to adapt a show in another language. Now, I've already been reached out to by both Marquardt and Westlake that want to buy a block of tickets or have said, we'll donate to you, but we want to bring our students over to see this. So already our Spanish play is hitting an incredibly, yes, it's an amazing population that deserves to see themselves on stage. So y'all, for this first time during Hispanic Heritage Month in October 10th, we are performing Coco on Beaster. Get it? I'm so sorry, it's the 11th, thank you so much. Then we have our Enough. This is a really exciting opportunity. It's called Enough, Plays to End Gun Violence. Miss Bandu, have you heard of this?
I have heard of it briefly, yes.
It's such a cool opportunity. So what this program does is they invite students from around the nation to write a play, an original work like you all are going to do tonight for the 24-hour Theater Festival, about gun violence or the impact that guns have had on them in schools. This is not meant to take a political stand. This is not pro-gun, this is not anti-gun. This is pro-student. Because I hope that many of you recognize, or many of you have seen, there's a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to this conversation. Many adults have strong opinions, but we never ever hear from students about this, right? Unless it's a protest. So this is the opportunity. Last year, this play series they put together, they put it out there. Anyone can submit a script. They choose the best 7. Then schools get to submit and apply. And this year, Glenbard East was chosen. So on November 6th, a one-night-only event, Glenbard East is participating in a nationwide streamed event in which we will be given one of the scripts to perform that will then be broadcast to the rest of the nation. We get to participate in a talkback. This is a one-night event, and it's a really cool opportunity for anyone that wants to get on stage, read, talk, discuss, and process this conversation with no rehearsal necessary. Isn't that fab? Great, great, great. Then we have our musical, 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Y'all, get it. This is our first time doing a musical in between years. Traditionally at Glenbard East, we've only ever done a musical every other year in Beaster. Now we're gonna do a musical, a smaller one, over in Ryder. 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee is about a bunch of kids, straight up nerds, that are all going for the national title to participate in the National Spelling Bee. And throughout the show, we get to meet them and all their quirks and the way they interact with each other. And then they become this really awesome little tight unit family, and they help one another succeed. How many of you have already watched it? What do you think? I'll tell you what, this is, I promise you, one of those shows like Hay Fever last year where people were like, what is this about? And at the end of it, you're like, that is such a great show. 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee was nominated for Best Musical. It has been done all over the nation, and it is one of the shows that is often banned because of content in it. There are two gay parents. There's a song about my unfortunate erection, or a young man who's dealing with learning puberty is getting in the way of his success in school. And he doesn't know what to do about it. Jesus appears in the middle of the play, in which a girl is like, Jesus, someone help me. And then the doors open and he's like, yes, my child. It's a very funny script, but it's all meant to be kind of ridiculous because young brains are ridiculous, right? Do any of you have like a 9 or 10-year-old sibling? Get it. So it's gonna be a wonderful show. That's our musical. Then, if you are in our acting classes, we have a few different performance classes here. You can take an intro to theater, but if you take the acting class, it ends in an original production. So this year, I know Sydney's in our class. Is anyone else in our acting class here? Get it. We've got lots of people that will be able to put together a show, and that's gonna be on first semester, December 11th, second semester, May 6th. Then, let's talk about Peter Pan. Yeah. So last year, as students, you might not understand the importance of this conversation, but did you all know that elementary schools no longer take field trips? It's not a thing that they like do or go out because busing's expensive and field trips are expensive. We used to bring elementary students over to Glenbard East to see one of our shows, and we can't do it anymore. So last year, we decided to bring a show to them. We did Matilda. That production of Matilda was so successful, we were accepted into the Illinois High School Theater Festival. This year, we're gonna go bigger, because everything I wanna do, everything we wanna do is bigger, right? So we're going to actually build a traveling production, including sets, lights, costumes, fog machines. We're gonna try to go all out. We're gonna figure out a way to design a production that we can then tear down, put in a truck, and over 2 days tour it to every one of our elementary schools. You all are going to be the rock stars that inspire that next generation. Get it. So Peter Pan, we've had a few people reach out to us and they want to choreograph. We're gonna try to do some flying. We're gonna try to be really creative in how we do this. But for those of you that were in Matilda last year, we're gonna be performing in cafeterias and lunchrooms because elementary students don't even know what a theater is. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna bring that art to them. But that also means that you all get to rehearse and then be taken out of school while we go on tour. Yeah! Then we're gonna do an on the spot. Last year we did a little bit, Annalie, you were a part of our improv, weren't you?
Yeah.
I remember it being like so fab, and Mary Hosky was a part of it. So this is a great opportunity to do some more improv. We wanted to add in events that those of you that are in here did not have to be a part of for like 8 weeks on end. This is another one-day event. You can show up, play some theater games in front of people. Parents love it. Miss Weinstein? Yes, parents love some funny improv. So that's another great event. Then we have our final main stage, and I believe this is going to be the most beautiful one of the year. How many of you have heard of A Monster Calls? A Monster Calls was a book that was adapted to a film that was then adapted into a play. And it's this beautiful story about a young boy named Connor whose mother is dying of cancer. Now, this is a really big change from what we've done here. We've done a lot of comedies in a row. And this one is not a comedy. It is a really beautiful, earnest drama. As Connor's talking to his mother in the hospital, his mother says, look at that tree outside of our window. That tree contains all the knowledge of the world. It's older than all of us. And when Connor goes to bed that night, that tree comes to life. And that tree says, I'm going to tell you 3 tales. And then you're going to tell me one. And the whole show is this really awesome way in which, if we can even describe it. I want to show you all can I show you all the set?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's look at what we are going to attempt to do here in Ryder Hall.
Mr. Bureau, isn't it the 5 stages of grief?
It is the 5 stages of grief. So if you all can kind of see this here, we're going to be suspending ropes from the ceiling. Then, as ropes are suspended from the ceiling, the different ways in which these ropes wrap around, they'll create a tree trunk. They'll spread out to create a hospital room. They'll move to the side to create a hallway within a school. We are going to turn our stage into a multimedia experience. We're going to have projections backstage because this young man is going through turmoil of processing grief, correct? And we're going to personify that on stage. This is going to be a really amazing show, but the best part is it's about processing love and grief, correct? It's the idea that love is not tangible, so if you lose someone, you don't lose that love, right? It's a beautiful show. It's the first time we're bringing a drama in here. Well, in my time, I'm only a sophomore, everyone. But this will be a really beautiful play, and this one has a big cast, so we're really looking forward to that. Then, I'd like to explain, finally, Stage Guild. If anyone participates in our theater throughout the year, are any of you in here in sports? I'm so sorry, that got so quiet. We're not judging you, I love sports. Are any of you in here in music? There we go. At the end of every year, sports, teams, music, they all hold a banquet. It's the end of the year celebration that we get to say, look at all the incredible work you've done. I hand out some awards. I want to honor people that are there. So please put this on your radar. No, JK. Let's put this on our radar, everyone. If you want to put the date in right now, Stage Guild is May 21st at 7 p.m. It's our final kind of party of the year. So, I'm filming this right now because so many people are like, I have questions about our season, so I'm going to post this. Would anyone like to ask any questions that might clarify what I just presented to you? Yes, sir.
So for the play Coco, is it going to be mostly in English, or is it going to be all Spanish?
It is going to be in all Spanish. So the idea here is that a lot of our Hispanic students have had to learn our language, whatever that is, right? They've had to phonetically learn something if they're not a native speaker. So for that show, we're going to return that favor. You do not need to know how to speak Spanish. We will teach you. When I was in college, I sang Italian opera, Boo Bear. I do not speak Italian. We can learn anything. But if we have so many students here who will learn the English language, let's return that favor in Hispanic Heritage Month. We will do a full Spanish production. Yes?
Will Coco have an assistant director?
I hope so. I hope so. Yes, sir.
What's the approximate cast size for the 3 main stages?
Okay, so that's an excellent question. Thank you very much. The 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee has a finite cast. What that means is Mamma Mia has an ensemble, correct? And you could literally put 50 people in the ensemble. Putnam County Spelling Bee does not. You know what we do have? We have 9 main roles in the show. We also have 3 spoken kind of characters. I would love to split all those characters out. The stage show should be about 15 people, right? Additionally, we're also going to need a lot of stage managers, people backstage, and if you all would like to challenge yourself, we need understudies. Last year, we had some people go down, know what I'm saying? So for anyone that knows Anthony Nichols, one of our main characters in Mamma Mia got the flu day of show. Anthony Nichols learned the role in 1 day and performed it off book that night. It was unbelievable. But I have cast students as understudies, and students will be like, I don't really want to do it. Here's the thing, I think an understudy is a great opportunity. When I did my Broadway tour, I was an understudy. I was a swing. I was the swing for 8 different roles. In the middle of a show, if someone went down, I would go into that spot. If you get a chance to perform, it's amazing. If you don't, you have the opportunity to sit in all of our rehearsals, learn everything we're doing. You're a part of the production from the ground up. But I want to make sure that we're aware. When we do shows in Beaster, musicals, it's an all-in situation. We can all participate. When we do smaller shows in here, the idea is exactly that. We want to offer you a smaller, more intimate experience with musical theater, which is something that not a lot of high schools get. Know what I'm saying? Great question. Next, we have Coco. Coco, once again, is going to be there are going to be roles that we fill, but that one is going to have much more of an ensemble because there'll be some singing in that. So anyone that wants to participate can. The only thing I want to bring up, if I may, is that Coco is going to rehearse 2:45 through 4 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, the same time that East Wind goes on. That means that my students, I love you all very much, you have to make a choice. I apologize there, but we are about equity here. Last year, we ran rehearsals till 7 or 8 p.m. We are not doing that this year. The last activity bus leaves at 6 p.m. We are ending at 5:45. That is my promise to you at all times. So, if you want to participate in that, I believe we could absolutely, well, I don't want to speak for any teacher, right? But I think that if you want to participate, we can absolutely make something work. I don't want you all to feel like because you're in East Wind for a full year, you couldn't participate in a great show for a month. Know what I'm saying? So we'll absolutely talk it out, but I want to make sure we're aware of schedules. So Coco's a little bit bigger. Then, Peter Pan, we need to talk with our administration to see how many people we can actually take out of school. Know what I'm saying? We will not be able to travel with 30 students. Does anyone know how many people were in Matilda last year? Yeah. Get it. I think Matilda was right around like 15 students, know what I'm saying? So Peter Pan will most likely be about 15 through 30. That includes cast and crew. Cool? Then, a Monster Calls is going to be an all-in situation. We're going to have a big ensemble. There are specific named characters in there, but because we have so many hanging ropes and we want to manipulate the stage in multiple ways, Mr. Rubin's going to get very clever in the way we cast. So that will probably be one of our larger shows. Great. Any other questions? Yes.
So for the musical, the spelling bee, isn't there going to be like a pit orchestra?
There is a pit orchestra. Mr. Ewell will be running some of our orchestra, but we're going to use a program called Orc Extra. This is a really exciting opportunity that we will have a full orchestra in here that's controlled by a MIDI, a small computer. So what this program allows us to do is that we could either have a full orchestration or we could take out specific parts for who we have for live musicians. The reason they've not done musicals in Ryder in here in a few years is that apparently our sound system's a little wonky. That's not going to stop us from doing theater. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to fix the sound, but yes, as far as I know, there is going to be a live orchestra. Talk to Mr. Ewell. Okay? Any other questions? Yes, please.
Do you know yet when practice would be for the Peter Pan?
No, that Miss Marin Bunting is going to take care of that. I'm so sorry, I should probably announce that. I'm the director for Coco, Enough, Spelling Bee, Acting Class, On the Spot, and Stage Guild. Miss Marin Bunting is Peter Pan, and Mr. Rubin is Monster Calls. Oh, it's gonna be fab. Yeah. But the rehearsals will most likely be exactly what we're doing now. It'll be 2:45 through at the very latest 5:45. Anyone else? Great. I'm gonna hit pause, and now we're gonna talk about Theater Fest. Is that cool?